Shabbat Shalom. This is Rabbi Aaron Boxt from Temple Kalemeth in Marietta, Georgia. This week's Torah portion is a double portion. It's Acharei Mot-Kedoshim from the book of Leviticus, Leviticus 16:1 through 20:27. Acharei Mot means after the death. This begins the Torah portion begins after the death of Nadav and Avihu, Aaron's sons that were killed by God for bringing what is called alien fire or an inappropriate sacrifice. And so God warns against unauthorized entry into the Holy of Holies. And it is here in this Torah portion in which we hear the first time of the command for the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, to go into the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber, for the sacred Ketoret, the special one-time-a-year sacrifice or one-time-a-year offering to God. And it is in here in which the name of God is mentioned 3 times by the high priest, the only time the name of God is ever mentioned. As we don't have a temple anymore with an innermost chamber, or we don't have a high priesthood, therefore we don't know how to pronounce God's name, so we refer to God as Adonai or Elohim. But we hear in this particular Torah portion the explanation as to when the high priest is to go into the Holy of Holies. We read also of the scapegoat, the casting of lots over 2 goats to determine which goat is to be offered to God as a sacrifice, and which goat will have whispered into the ear of this goat all of the sins of the people, and then led off into the wilderness. There's also a warning against bringing sacrifices to somewhere other than to the Holy Temple. We are forbidden to consume blood, and there's lots of other commandments as is usual for the book of Leviticus, and there are particular ones with regards to deviant sexual relations and incest. Kedoshim, the second part of this Torah portion, begins with the statement, "You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy," in which once again we find dozens of mitzvot commanding us how to sanctify God and how we are to remain holy, in reference specifically to our relationship with God and the holiness of God. We find the prohibition against idolatry, mitzvah of charity, principle of equality before the law. Once again, we see the laws of Shabbat, honesty, honoring one's parents, and we learn about the sacredness of life. Also in Kedoshim, we find in my opinion, what is the most important line in the entire Torah. And this is, love your neighbor or as yourself. And I believe that all of the mitzvot that we're commanded to do really are an offshoot of this very basic commandment to love your neighbor as yourself, which is one reason why myself and many of my colleagues are so in support of marriage equality, among other things that we fight for the cause for, so that all of us can be equal in the eyes of the law, like all of us are equal in the eyes of God. This week, we celebrate the bar mitzvah, the coming of age of Taylor Aston. He has a Havdalah bar mitzvah on Saturday evening, which means that he's actually going to be reading from Parashiyot Emor, because it's Havdalah, it's after Shabbat. He will be great. He will be a great addition to our community, and look forward to welcoming him into the Jewish community as an adult. Please check out our website, www.kolemeth.net. You can see all of our exciting events that are coming up. You can see some pictures from our past events, for example, from the Avodah, our celebration of the Women of Reform Judaism last weekend. As well, you can find on our website a link to our services that are live streamed. So if you're not able to join us physically, you can join us on the internet, and you can watch our service and pray with us that way. Also, you will see links for the family retreat that's happening in September 25th through 27th. You can still get the early bird discount if you register now, so please do so. www.kolemeth.net. As usual, I wish you a wonderful, joyful, restful, spiritual Shabbat. And remember, my door is open, so please feel free to come stop by and let's have a conversation anytime. I look forward to welcoming you into the Kolemeth family. Shabbat Shalom.